Have you ever wondered why some women can walk into a room and suddenly his eyes can't leave her? Not because of how loud she is, not because she's trying too hard, but because of something deeper, something you can't touch, only feel. There's a quiet power in her, a softness that lingers, a vibe that makes him crave her presence, not just for a moment, but constantly. And here you are, pouring out love, doing everything right, giving your heart without holding back. Yet he drifts, he pulls away, he stops noticing, and you start to ask yourself, what am I missing? But let me tell you something painful and honest. It's not that you're not enough. It's that somewhere along the way, you forgot how powerful your energy is. Not your looks, not your words, your energy. A wise woman once said she stopped chasing and suddenly everything started chasing her. This is not about pretending. This is not about playing games. This is about remembering your softness, your strength, your peace, and how that feminine energy, when owned fully, becomes magnetic. Think of a garden. It doesn't run after the bees. It stands tall, colorful, blooming in its own rhythm. And yet, the bees always come, because beauty in stillness, power in peace, that's what draws everything in. That's what creates the craving. Right now, he might not even realize what he's missing, but he will. Because the woman who knows how to flow, how to stay rooted in her presence, how to be soft without breaking, she becomes unforgettable. She doesn't chase, she doesn't beg, she simply is, and that is becomes everything. In relationships, attraction isn't only about how you look or what you say. It's about how you make him feel in your presence, calm, seen, wanted. Not because you're trying to be perfect, but because you're connected to yourself. That's the feminine vibe. That's the energy he can't resist, even if he doesn't know why. So now, lovely woman, let's stop for a moment. Let's stop shrinking, over-giving, over-explaining. You have something far more powerful than all of that. Your energy, your essence, that beautiful presence inside you that doesn't beg to be loved, but naturally draws love in. And when you begin to live in that energy, not only does he crave you, he remembers you long after you've left the room. That is the shift. That is where you begin. That is when you stop trying to be chosen and start living as a queen. If this message touched something deep inside you, if it reminded you of your worth, your beauty, your power, then take a moment, beautiful soul, and like this video. Subscribe to the channel because we are here working hard every single day to bring you the truth, the healing, and the strength you deserve. You are not alone in this journey. We rise together, and every word we speak here is for you. Number 1. He doesn't crave what's always loud. He craves the calm he can't find anywhere else. Have you ever noticed how quiet water reflects the clearest image? Still, calm, undisturbed, yet powerful enough to drown everything in its depth. That's exactly what draws him in. It's not always the loudest voice, the flashiest dress, or the most dramatic reaction. What stays with him is the woman who makes him feel something he can't find anywhere else. Peace, presence, that calm in the storm he didn't know he was searching for. Right now, he may be chasing noise. He may think excitement is found in the loud, in the dramatic, in the constantly available. But in time, the noise becomes overwhelming. The thrill becomes exhausting. And that's when he starts to remember you, the one who didn't force your way in, the one who didn't fight for attention, the one who stood still, rooted, radiant. He doesn't crave chaos. He craves calm. The kind of calm only a certain woman can carry in her energy. A quiet woman is not weak. She is focused. She knows her power doesn't come from shouting. It comes from knowing who she is, knowing her worth, knowing that if he doesn't see her, that's his blindness, not her lack. There's a quote that says, "She didn't need to be loud because her silence said everything." When your presence brings peace instead of pressure, when your energy feels like home instead of a battlefield, he will miss that. He will crave that, and nothing else will come close. Imagine a candle in a dark room. It doesn't yell, it doesn't chase, it simply glows, and yet everyone is drawn to it. Because in a world that's always rushing, the rare woman who slows down, who breathes, who holds space, who brings calm, she becomes magnetic. That is the feminine vibe, not loud, not desperate, but soft, certain, still. You may not feel it yet, but that soft strength inside you, it's everything, and once you begin to live from that space, not only will he crave you, he will feel unsteady without you, because peace is rare. And a woman who carries it, she's unforgettable. Lovely woman, this is your time. Stop trying to prove. Stop trying to chase. You are not here to fight for attention. You are here to be seen without even asking. Step into your stillness. Stand in your presence. Because that is what he cannot resist. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. I am his calm in a world full of noise. And if this message touched your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here every day working hard to bring you the truth, the strength, and the life-changing lessons you deserve. You're not here to be forgotten, you're here to reign. Number 2. He may touch 100 bodies, but he'll obsess over the one that made his soul exhale. Have you ever asked yourself why he can be with so many women, but still think about one he no longer has? Why his hands can touch another, but his heart still aches for a presence that once felt like peace? The truth is, he can touch 100 bodies, but he'll obsess over the one that made his soul exhale. Not because she was louder, not because she tried harder, but because when he was with her, something inside him rested. Something he couldn't explain, but deeply felt. This isn't about being prettier or more perfect. This is about the energy you carry, the way you speak with softness, yet stand with strength, the way you don't force his love, but your presence invites it. He might chase beauty. He might be drawn to excitement. But the one he craves at 2 a.m., when the world is quiet and the truth can't hide, is the one who made him feel seen. A wise woman once said, "He won't remember the loudest voice, he'll remember the one that made him feel like home." That's what your feminine energy does. It doesn't push, it pulls. It doesn't demand, it radiates. And once a man feels that peace, that softness that carries power, he can't forget it, even if he walks away from it. Imagine water in a desert. A man may drink anything when he's thirsty, but he remembers the oasis, the real water, the cool calm that touched not just his lips, but his soul. That is the kind of energy that keeps echoing in his memory long after your voice has gone silent. It is not your effort that makes him crave you. It is your essence. And yes, right now you may feel tired, you may feel unseen, but this is not your weakness. This is your rising. This is where you begin to live not as a woman who waits, but as a woman who reigns, not just in love, but in life. You are not here to compete. You are here to be. So remember this, dear woman. He may touch 100 bodies, but the one he craves is the one who made him feel alive. Let him search, let him compare, but never forget, you are the standard. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I am the peace he will crave forever. We are working hard to bring you real, raw, and life-changing lessons, because you were never meant to beg. You were born to reign. Number 3. The woman who walks away without a storm becomes the one he can never forget. Have you ever noticed how silence can echo louder than words? How sometimes it's not the one who screams, cries, or begs that stays in his mind, but the one who walks away with quiet strength without a single storm. He expects noise. He expects a reaction. But when you give him peace instead of pain, grace instead of chaos, that's when your absence becomes unforgettable. Right now, he might believe he made the right choice. He might think your silence means surrender, but what he doesn't understand yet is that your silence is not weakness, it is power. A woman who chooses to walk away without chasing, without explaining, without lowering herself, becomes the memory that lingers. Because a calm goodbye shakes a man deeper than angry words ever could. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who caused the pain." You don't need to mirror his choices. You don't need to beg him to see your value. Your silence is enough. Your stillness is strength. Just like the ocean, still on the surface, but powerful enough to move mountains underneath. Think of a candle. When it burns too fast, it dies quickly, but the one that burns slow, steady, and bright, its warmth is missed the most when the room goes dark. You were that warmth, and now that you've walked away without a storm, he's left in the cold, wondering how he lost a fire that never burned him, only ever lit his world. This is the truth, and it's not easy to hear. He will not crave the one who begged him to stay. He will crave the one who left with her head high, who didn't need him to remember her, because her energy already carved itself into his soul. That's what the feminine vibe does. It doesn't scream to be seen. It simply is, soft, powerful, unforgettable, and that presence, that's what makes him crave you constantly. So now, lovely woman, you stop explaining, you stop waiting, you stop apologizing for your silence. This is where you begin to live, not as a woman who was left, but as a woman who chose to rise, not a storm, but a queen. Write this in the comments and claim it. My silence is unforgettable. Queens, if these words awakened something deep inside you, like this video, we are here working hard to bring you real, life-changing lessons. Because you were never meant to break, you were meant to reign. Number 4. He craves the feminine that doesn't compete. She completes the space without saying a word. Have you ever noticed how some women never raise their voice, never fight for attention, yet somehow he can't take his eyes off her? She doesn't try to outshine anyone. She doesn't argue to prove her worth. And still, the entire room bends toward her energy. There's no competition in her presence, only calm. No noise, only power. And that's the feminine energy he craves more than anything. You've been made to believe that you have to compete, that you have to be louder, prettier, smarter, just to be seen. You've been told that if you don't chase, he'll forget you, so you give, you please, you overthink, and still he drifts. And in those quiet moments, you ask yourself, why do I still feel invisible? But here's the truth. The woman who tries to compete becomes forgettable. The woman who completes the space just by being in it. She becomes irreplaceable. She doesn't chase. She doesn't beg. She knows who she is, and that's why he never stops thinking about her. There's a quote that says, "The flower doesn't open for competition. It just blooms, and the bees come." That is what feminine energy looks like. It doesn't force, it flows, it doesn't shout, it shines. And the man who's meant for you, he will feel that. not with his eyes, but with his soul. Think of moonlight. It doesn't fight the sun. It doesn't beg to be seen. It simply exists, and still its glow pulls the tide, calms the night, lights the darkness. That is you. When you return to that soft power inside you, when you stop proving and start being, you become the peace he never knew he needed. Now, graceful woman, it's time to stop trying to win a race you were never meant to run. Because you were not born to compete. You were born to complete the space around you with your energy, to walk into a room and without a word, shift the air. That is the vibe that makes him crave you. Not once, not twice, constantly. Your journey doesn't start with chasing. It starts with remembering. You are not here to prove. You are here to reign. Write this in the comments and claim it. I do not compete. I complete. Let the world feel your energy. Let him feel your absence. Let yourself rise, unbothered and unstoppable. And queens, if this message stirred something inside you, like this video and subscribe. We are working hard to create powerful, life-changing lessons for every woman stepping back into her throne. Your rise begins now. Number 5. When your energy speaks before you do, he's already addicted before he knows why. Have you ever walked into a room and noticed how he looked at you before you even said a word? That split second where nothing was spoken, but everything was felt. That's not luck. That's not about having the loudest laugh or the prettiest dress. That's your energy speaking for you. Before your voice, before your touch, before anything else, your presence introduces you. And when a woman walks in with the right kind of energy, he feels it like gravity. He doesn't even know why, but suddenly he craves her. You've tried being nice. You've tried being understanding. You've tried doing everything to keep him close. And still, it feels like the harder you try, the further he pulls away. But listen closely. It's not about trying harder. It's about being deeper. The kind of energy that makes him crave you constantly doesn't scream. It doesn't chase. It simply exists. Calm, soft, powerful. That kind of energy isn't loud, but it leaves echoes. A wise woman once said she didn't need to raise her voice. Her presence was enough to be remembered. And that's what you are learning now. You are no longer the woman who begs to be noticed. You are becoming the woman who is felt, even in silence. Think of a flame. A candle in a dark room doesn't need to shout. Its light draws people in, quietly, naturally. That's you when you live in your feminine power. When you stop proving, stop rushing, stop forcing. He begins to feel drawn to you not because of what you do, but because of how it feels to be around you. In love, this changes everything. The woman who lives in her softness and confidence becomes the one he remembers at night. Not because she tried to win him, but because her vibe stayed in his chest long after she was gone. That's not by accident. That's alignment. So now, lovely woman, let the noise fall away. You don't have to be louder. You just have to be you. Calm, present, powerful. That's the feminine vibe that makes him crave you over and over again. Write this in the comments and claim it. My energy speaks before I do. Queens, type it below. Let the world know that you are no longer chasing, no longer proving. You are simply becoming. We are working hard every single day to bring you truth, healing, and life-changing lessons. You are not just watching, you are rising. Number 6. He'll miss the woman who didn't need him, but chose to love him anyway. Have you ever noticed how a man only starts missing you when you finally stop needing him? When you stop reaching out, when you stop asking where you stand, when your silence starts saying more than your words ever did. That's the moment he feels it. That deep ache for the woman who didn't need him, but chose to love him anyway. You see, there's something powerful about a woman who gives from fullness, not from fear. A woman who can stand on her own, but still chooses to let him in. He may not say it out loud, but that's the kind of energy that never leaves his mind. At first, he may take it for granted. He may think you'll always be there, always loving, always giving. But once he realizes your love wasn't something he could control, only something he was lucky to receive, that's when the craving begins. She was not made to be saved, she was made to be respected, a wise voice once said. And that is what he failed to do. He saw your presence as a comfort, not a privilege. He thought your loyalty was weakness. But the truth? The woman who chooses love freely, not from need, is the woman who holds real power. Imagine a lighthouse in the middle of a stormy sea. It doesn't run after ships. It doesn't scream to be noticed. It stands tall, grounded, glowing, whether anyone is watching or not. That's the feminine energy he will crave when the storms of his life begin to hit, when the excitement fades, when the fantasy falls apart. He will remember the calm you gave him, the warmth, the light. But by then, beautiful woman, you'll be too far ahead for him to reach. You were never broken. You were whole long before he arrived. And now you are not the woman who waits to be loved. You are the woman who walks in her power, the woman who chose love but never begged for it, the one who knew her worth even when he didn't. That, lovely soul, is what living as a queen looks like. Write this in the comments and claim it with fire. He will miss the love I gave freely but never needed to give. We are working hard every day to bring you life-changing lessons because your power was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to reign. Number 7. He may chase the fantasy, but he'll ache for the woman who felt like home. Have you ever seen a man run after the glitter only to one day sit quietly, wondering why none of it feels like peace? He was chasing the thrill, the spark, the fantasy, but now he sits in silence, missing the woman who felt like home. Because, in the end, beauty fades, excitement calms, but that feeling of being understood, of being safe, that's what he aches for. And that feeling, he once had it with you. He thought love was about the chase. He thought he wanted the loud, the wild, the new. But you were not a moment. You were a presence. You made him feel seen without needing to say much. And now, he looks at her, listens to her, sits beside her, and still feels alone. Because she is the fantasy, but you were the reality. And no fantasy can ever hold the weight of truth. A woman once said, "He chased stars and forgot the moon was always glowing, right there in front of him." Queens, the woman who gives her heart without trying to control, the one who holds space without losing herself. That woman becomes unforgettable. He may not say it out loud, he may not even understand it, but something deep inside him will always crave the softness he lost, the calm, the warmth, the emotional safety. That feminine vibe he didn't know he needed until it was gone. Think of a lighthouse. It doesn't move, it doesn't scream, it just stands tall, glowing steadily, guiding ships through the dark. Some ships pass by, some ignore it, but when the storms hit, they all look for that light. That's who you were. And he went chasing firecrackers, bright for a second, then gone. But this is not the end for you, beautiful woman. This is your awakening. He may ache, but you are no longer waiting to be remembered. You are stepping into the version of yourself that doesn't chase, doesn't compete, doesn't prove. You are learning to live, to reign, to become the woman who glows without trying. He had his chance, and now he will watch from a distance as you rise. Write this in the comments and claim it. I am the woman he can never replace. Say it, own it, live it, because you are not just a memory, you are a legacy. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, Queens. We are here, working every day to bring you the truth, the healing, and the power you deserve. You were never just a woman. You are the woman who felt like home, and now you reign.